Hi, my name's Tammy Schmidt. I'm an experiential herbalist and nature therapy guide. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about how to turn an everyday walk into a mindful nature walk. If you'd like to learn more about nature connection, I've recently written a book. It's called Stellar. I've posted a link in the description below. Also, for today, for this video, I have a PDF that you can use to follow along with this video. And you can check it out in the description below too. Intention is everything. It turns out that being intentional about connecting with nature has many benefits for us. Here's a list of some of the benefits associated with connecting with nature in an intentional way. It boosts your mood. You will have more positive emotions. You'll be more calm and more awake. You'll have increased well-being, vitality, and happiness. You'll have a better capacity or ability to relax. You'll have reduced depression, less depressive symptoms, reduced stress, reduced anxiety, reduced negative emotions, less anger, less agitation, and less fatigue. Yeah. And all of these benefits that I've just listed have been studied and proven that when we have the intent to connect with nature, it's good for us in all of those ways. Nature connection offers so much. When I think of this in that long list I just listed, I think about how that has this ripple effect. You know, when we're feeling better inside, our relationships are easier, they're better. Our ability to do our work, it's stronger. It's just our day-to-day life and our life satisfaction, it's increased. Like it just has so many benefits. Nature connection offers so much. It's really hard to find something that offers just as much, right? I mean, there are other mindfulness practices or other practices that we can incorporate in our lives that will do similar things, such as like a yoga practice or things like that, yes. But I just find it so interesting that spending time in nature and with the intent to connect with nature offers us so much. I think that part of the reason why nature and nature connection is so beneficial for us is that nature is way more than a backdrop, right? It's way more than a Zoom backdrop. It's living. So nature connection is relational. And it's possible that nature wants to connect with us. Think of how plants respond to us when we say nice things to them. This is another study. When we say nice things to plants, they thrive. When we say negative things to plants, they suffer. Nature responds to our intentions. And similarly, it's possible that you, deep down inside of you have the desire to connect with nature as well. It's a part of you. You want to be a part of the ecosystem that surrounds you. You want to relate to what's around you. And I think we're going to find out a lot more about this in the coming years. That's what I'm predicting. The nature connection that I teach about is a combination of nature connection and self-care. It's a result of my practice with nature connection. A number of years ago, I started connecting with nature on a daily basis. Over, days and days of practice, I began to notice themes. Like, for example, I would start to feel my feelings as I exited, from my home and I started walking. I would notice that I could feel my feelings more easily. Things like that. So I developed this self-care practice where I was in nature. And at the time when I was working on this and practicing it, I didn't know about the studied benefits, but I felt the studied benefits. I felt how I could assess and see that I felt a lot better when I returned home from my little nature walks every day and my intention to connect with nature. I knew there was something to it, and I'm just really happy to now discover that there are so many studies behind this as well, proving that it did actually improve my mental well-being. And being in nature, I didn't mention this earlier, but it also benefits the body physically. It seems to improve all systems in a global way. And also, being in nature improves how you behave. There are studies proving that too. Like being in nature causes people to eat better, eat more vegetables, for example. Gardeners eat more vegetables, or sleep is improved. Today, I'm really talking about the mental benefits and focusing on that because it's a mindful walk that we're going on today, and I'm giving tips on a mindful walk. That's more of what I'm talking about today. To create a nature walk from your everyday walk, the first thing you need to do is to slow down. I've mentioned this in previous videos, but it's really important. Slowing down allows you to drop in to the present moment. Slowing down allows you to sense what's around you. And in fact, that's the second step. You slow down and you sense what is around you. You use your 5 senses. You sense what you can hear, what you can taste even, what you can see, what you can feel, what you can smell. Did I forget one? No, I don't think so. What you can hear, see, smell, taste, and feel. You don't just do this to, pass the time. It's actually bringing you into the present. It decreases rumination, and it just allows you to really connect with what's around you. Because, of course, nature doesn't speak in words, but there's a lot going on, and we can sense that. So that's why we first check in with our senses to see what's going on. And as you're sensing, you'll sense what's around you and who's around you. And as we're sensing, we want to think of opposites to really understand what's around us or who's around us. Ask yourself, what's big around you? What's small? What's loud? What's quiet? What's still? What's in motion? What's up high and what's down low? What's seen and what's unseen, such as roots under the ground? What's unseen? Being aware of who or what is around you both relaxes the brain and energizes the brain. It allows you this micro moment where you can put your worries aside and you can relax and move away from any repetitive thinking. Again, you're dropping into the moment and feeling what's around you. When you're open like this and sensing, something surprising might happen. You might see something that you weren't expecting. And it could be quite, a little bit startling, but in a good way. This is a moment of awe. It's a great thing for you. It's a great thing for your brain, for your senses, for your creativity. It's really nice to come upon these moments of awe and try to figure out what's going on or think about it like, ooh, what's that? It's great for you to do that. And it helps you drop into the present even more. So when you're relaxed and present and your senses are open, you have a greater capacity to understand what you're feeling. So at this point, you can ask yourself what you're feeling. Do an emotional check-in. And no matter what it is, whatever you're feeling, the first thing to do is to be compassionate. Okay, so today, maybe I'm feeling sad, or maybe I'm angry, or maybe I'm super happy. Feel your feelings and label them. Try to imagine that you're spending time with a good friend, and that if you were your friend and they were feeling that way, ask yourself what you could offer them. So you're asking, what can you offer yourself? It's possible that you're not able to solve the whole problem, but maybe you're witnessing yourself in that problem today. Maybe that's what you can offer yourself today. Or maybe you can solve a small part of the problem or work towards that. And maybe you can offer yourself that today. Offer yourself compassion and see what you can do to make yourself feel better. You can ask yourself, what's the weather today? Importantly, how you're feeling in the weather today. How are you feeling about the weather today? How is the weather impacting how you're feeling today? So, what do you need today? Maybe it would be helpful to offer yourself the emotional freedom technique, which is basically just tapping on meridian points. It's called emotional freedom technique because it helps you release your emotions. So you start by tapping. There are many, many resources online. I'm not going to get into the whole thing today, but you tap on various points and you state where you're at right now. And you state where you would want to be. There's tapping on the face too and everything. I'm sure that you've seen it online. And as you tap, you'll find that sometimes the emotions come up even more, but they come up to come out. It's a great thing that you can give yourself. Another way that you can help yourself, if you, say, need a hug, you can hug a tree. Remember, trees are living, and you can hug a tree, and you'll feel a sense, likely, connection in that. You can lie down on the ground if you're in an area where you can do that, and it's very comforting to do that too. It's grounding. So think of all the ways that you can help yourself today. Another thing that I like to do, say if I'm going through like a major situation or I have a major problem that I'm dealing with, or there's something that I'm kind of snagged on emotionally. Maybe there was a past event or something that I'm having a hard time letting go of. And it can be, something that we're grieving or something that we're angry about or, any of that. What I do is I ask myself, what can I leave today? What can I just leave in the forest, for example, or leave in the garden? And whatever the situation is that I'm going through, I imagine and I use my intention to compost a little bit of that. If you practice this on a daily basis with your grief or major situation that you're going through, eventually, think about it, after a week, you've composted this much, right? Like maybe this much. And then after a month, this much. And a year, right? You don't have to remove the whole thing at once, right? But you can take small steps every day to helping yourself feel better. Yeah, that's just one of the practices I like to do because it helps me take care of myself the way I'm feeling in my life. That peace and that freedom and that relaxation helps me get through problems and life with more resiliency. I guess it's a way of offering myself more resiliency. Yeah. Thanks for joining me today. In summary, connecting with nature or intentionally interacting with nature has many, many health benefits, mental health benefits. Our mindful nature connection can include connecting and caring for ourselves. We are a part of our local ecosystem. And in my mind, it makes sense to incorporate self-care practices while we have the intention of connecting with nature. I find it's just a great daily practice for my mental health. And when we take care of ourselves, then our capacity to take care of our world, our lives, and even our planet increases, right? So self-care begins with the self. So I find the nature connection practice just so meaningful to me and beneficial. besides all of the studied health benefits. If you would like to find out more about this or read more about this, as I said before, I've written a book. It's called Stellar. I've listed it below in the description. And I also have a PDF in the description too that outlines the ways that I make a daily walk more of a mindful nature walk. Thanks for being here today, and I hope you have a chance to take it outside. Thanks.